Hey everybody, it's Brooke with the Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. Today we have one of the South's finest contributions to the cooking world, and we are featuring one of our favorite casseroles to share with you. Today we're going to be showing you how to make this Cowboy Rice Casserole. It's very good, very filling, and it takes care of itself once you mix everything up and pop it in the oven. So let's get started. Okay, so in a pan, skillet, or I'm using a Dutch oven, you can use skillet will be fine. We have a half a cup of chopped onion. Now, I'm using red, you can use anything you want. I've got one small poblano pepper that I have chopped up, and probably a small red bell pepper. And we're just going to saute those in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I have seasoned it with about a teaspoon of pepper and about 2 teaspoons of salt. Because this is going to be our seasoning. I need to add another teaspoon of salt. This is going to be our seasoning for our rice as well. So this gives us a chance to infuse all that flavor into our vegetable mix. So I'm just going to sweat that out and over probably medium heat because I want those to sweat down pretty quick. And you could certainly do this ahead of time. So to this we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic and let that cook with those vegetables. And I am making one more mess over here, one more mess. I'm throwing garlic everywhere. I don't want it to start to burn on my pot where I spilled it. So we're just going to let those all cook together for just a minute or two until those peppers are nice and soft. The poblano is not very hot. I removed the seeds and took the membrane out, but it is kind of a smoky, kind of slight heat, but not a whole lot. Now we're going to add in a half a cup of ground beef. Not a half a cup, a half a pound. Lord have mercy. And then about a half a pound of chorizo sausage. And you can find this in your butcher section. These had a case on them and I just easily removed that sheepskin case. It wasn't hard to do. Or if you have, like I know at Walmart, they have a cold section for ethnic foods. And I have found chorizo in a roll there. This was at a local grocery store, so I found this actually in the meat section. So we're just going to break those up, and that's a half a pound of chorizo sausage. And if you didn't want to use chorizo, you could use some other sausage, like a mild sausage. But this Cowboy Rice Casserole is a little spicy, so that chorizo adds a little spice without adding a lot of heat, because I get the mild chorizo and not the hot. Now if you want it hot, you can get the hot. Alright, we're going to let those brown. Okay, we finished browning our beef and chorizo mixture with our peppers and our onions, and then I drained that and then added it to a large casserole dish with 1 can of whole kernel corn and 1 can of white pinto beans, and we're just going to mix that up. Oh, the beans have been drained and rinsed. So before I get too far into mixing, now we're going to add in 1.5 cups of uncooked rice. And don't worry, this has a long cooking time in the oven. So, and there's going to be plenty of liquid in here. for that rice to get good and cooked through. Then we're going to add in our 1 can undrained of diced tomatoes. And I'm making a mess, as usual. So those tomatoes add a lot of liquid in here as well. And then to kind of give it just an extra little bit of seasoning, we're gonna add in some chili powder. And you can add in some cayenne if you would like at this point too, but it's really just not necessary if you want to keep it kind of mild. But any extra little spice is a good idea. So there's about 2 tablespoons of chili powder because we really want it to have that smoky chili flavor. And we're just going to mix that all in. And then don't forget, we've already seasoned our meat and our veg when we browned it with salt and pepper. So this is just another layer of flavor. Okay, now we got that good and mixed. I got that rice distributed throughout nice and even, and we're just gonna make sure that it's all nice and even in the pan. And then I'm gonna get a sheet pan to put this on, just simply because before I add the liquid, I wanna make sure, because I'm using this throwaway pan, that I have a good solid bottom to be able to transfer it to the oven. So we have our oven set at 350 degrees, and then we have 4 cups of beef broth that we're gonna add in. And I know it looks like a lot, and it is, but we're using 1.5 cups of rice. So, and we have a lot of other things in here too. So I'm just gonna give that a good stir so that I can make sure that that liquid gets all in there. And like I said, we have our oven set at 350 degrees. Now I'm going to tightly cover this with aluminum foil. And it's real important if you, like the sheet pan is a good option for this because it's heavy, 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 heavy on the liquid. But don't worry, all that liquid is gonna turn into something beautiful. So I'm gonna get that nice and wrapped real tight. And then I'm going to cook this in that 350 degree oven for about 1.5 hours. I'll probably check it at 1 hour to see if my rice is done. And if it's not, then I'm gonna go another 15 to 30 minutes until that rice is good and done. So we'll be back to show you. We'll top it with cheese and then allow the cheese to melt, and we'll serve this up. So stay tuned. Okay, we finished our 1.5 hour cook time, and then I sprinkled the top with about 2 cups of cheddar cheese, and y'all, it has cooked up. All that liquid has cooked out, been absorbed by that rice, and it is fantastic. We're gonna take out just a little bit so you can see how perfect it is. It's nice and cheesy. All that rice is done. Now let's give it a taste. Oh, this cheesy goodness is still really hot. Look at that. Oh my gosh, y'all. It's got the rice, the fresh vegetables, that chorizo, and that beef all cooked and just wonderful with those seasonings. Let's let it cool before, so I won't scorch my mouth. Mmm. Mmm. The corn and the pinto beans have absorbed up that broth and all those seasonings. The rice is cooked perfectly. And y'all, this is a good, filling, easy, full meal casserole. This also freezes really well. You can let it cool after you cook it completely. then I usually put a little plastic wrap on top and then some foil and then pop it in the freezer. It'll stay good in the freezer for up to 3 months. It is fantastic. This is also a great casserole to put together as a food gift to share with other people in their times of need, whatever that might be. So this is a fantastic, easy recipe, and it's something that you can do a lot of this ahead of time and then put together and then cook it and then take it to wherever you need to take it. We hope that you'll try this Cowboy Rice Casserole and that you'll love it as much as we do. And we would sure, oh, and it can be found over at the Buttered Home with a free printable recipe card. Plenty of room in the margins so you can make notes, add to, make this your recipe. We want you to do that. Also, if you're not already, make sure that you're following us on all of our social channels. We have a real good time and we want you to be wherever we are. You never know when we'll pop up in your news feed. And if you want all of our videos in one convenient place, head over to YouTube, search for The Buttered Home, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. All right, I got some casserole to eat, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. So, as usual, from The Buttered Home to your home, we sure love y'all. Bye.